So, hey guys, welcome to today's episode. Today we'll be talking about the part of software engineering that you do not know, or you probably do not know. Or say you know some parts of these things I'm about to say, this can be an addition. And then say you believe or you do know everything I'm about to say. You can end up adding to our knowledge by leaving your thoughts in the comment section after listening so that we can also know more about this. So, software engineering is not just about writing codes, it comes with its own set of frustrations and rewards too. So, we'll be starting with the frustrations of software engineering, and this is not necessarily just also all about software engineering. It can also spread out to different parts of tech, say data analytics or data science or other fields out there. Number one is fixing bug nightmares. That's what I'll call this one. Bug fixing nightmares. There was a time I was trying to fix an error back then, close to the time I just started coding. I was working on a personal project and I was doing like the whole part of the website. That's from the part you see to the part you don't see, from the front end to the back end. And then while I was working on it, I was making some connections and everything, and then I had an error, like a bug, and I was trying to fix this thing. I tried AI, ChatGPT. It was like, okay, your code is correct, blah blah blah. So I was confused, like everything points to the fact that the code is fine, but it's not working. Like, what's going on? So I focused on other things while still checking once in a while, because it was not like a high priority per se, and also that it was not necessarily affecting other parts I was working on. So I was able to like put it on hold and just change my priority for the time being. And then after like a month of checking back, I said, let me even read through this code, and then I realized it was missing a column slash somewhere. And there was the joy of finally I located this thing. But there was also the frustration of why will column slash limit me this much, and stuff. But it happens. The debugging can be very frustrating. Like, it can take you hours. I've even heard that back in the days when there was no things like AI and stuff, when people wanted to debug, I don't know how they did it. You can imagine there's an error. These days you just copy your error and put it on ChatGPT, or the program you're working with already has the error, or the program you're working with already has the error message detailed for you, so you can easily locate it. So I wonder, those days I heard that they would find books regarding what they're trying to fix, read books and stuff, and then spend months. So it's just incredible. But thank God for the generation now we're in. Well, things have evolved a lot, so that should not really be something that will hinder progress that much. But then, one thing you have to know or possess very well is patience and persistence. Like, those times when you are solving those errors, you have to be patient with it, but also persistent, because if you're not persistent, you will not be able to endure for too long and stuff. And then if you're not patient enough, either you start to give up too easily, or you might even go ahead and destroy your own system. I've had times where I nearly hit my own system, but thank God for self-control, and then I've learned better now. Like, back then I didn't really know better, but thank God frustration didn't take over me. Another frustrating part of software engineering is unnecessary meetings. I say again, unnecessary meetings. Like, I told someone, oh no, I posted it recently. I was like, you attend meetings that concern you and don't concern you, and there's not necessarily anything wrong with that. Yeah, it's totally fine. But just to stress the point, I've had times when I'll be called for a meeting, and then in my mind, deep down, I'm like, I don't have business being here. Why are you guys troubling me? But I can't say it out. Who am I to say I don't have business being here? You know, I just have to like endure with a smile on my face and actually also actively contribute. I'm not meant to be there. Yes, that's by my own thoughts. Actually, doesn't mean I'm not necessarily meant to be there. But then I'm already there. I might as well just make the most of it. If there's something to learn, learn. If there's something to contribute, contribute. Increase your value, increase your worth. You know. The third point I'll be stressing is sleepless nights and burnouts. But let me first quickly say that I was watching a senior engineer speak. He's a Nigerian, but he's already out of the country and stuff. I think Umar Codes or something on YouTube. And then he was like, there's no accolade for burnout. Because back then, according to him, he was the kind of person that would like, we push down without willpower, we'll push till the end, till this thing work. We're not going anywhere, we die here. And then, regular burnout and everything. But the thing is, at the end, at some point, you're going to get tired of it. Like, wisdom is profitable to direct. At some point, you have to find a way to balance these things. Maybe there are some things you need to let go of. Like, if you know that you accepting the responsibility will stretch you too thin, and it's good to stretch yourself, push yourself, but if it's going to push you so much that you will not be inefficient, look at that again. You need to like do a review and stuff. So there's no accolade for burnout. And then you'll have some sleepless nights. Not that you always have sleepless nights necessarily, but there'll be some sleepless nights because, let's say, for example, you'll be working somewhere and then there's pressure to get something done, which is totally alright. I mean, they are trying to meet up with target and stuff, but it can lead you to also have to burn the night and stuff to get some tasks done, maybe. Or let's say you have a family function. You now say, okay, because I'm working, I'm not going to attend the family function. It's different things than outsider, but not that you also ignore that person's own too, you just weigh, okay, the pros and cons and, make the best choice and stuff. But there are some things you have to be available for, so you have to be able to sometimes burn a part of your night just to get some things done. Also, the struggle of stretching yourself too thin. Recently, I had to let go of some responsibilities. I don't know if I've mentioned that I was on a number of, I don't want to say how many projects I was on, but I had to just ask myself, like, bro, like, there's the part of you that may feel like, I don't want people to feel somehow that I'm rejecting this. Let's say maybe it's not necessary, maybe not everything is paid project, right? There are some projects you're feeling like, oh God, I don't want to disappoint anybody, I don't want them to feel bad, or I don't want to hurt their feelings, or maybe deep down you're just too scared to say no, and then you now take on so much responsibility that you're not now delivering optimally to any of the ones you've taken. So that was kind of the place I was for some time, just for some time. But I had to just be smart about it, like, bro, you have to be smart, man. And then I started to reach out to some people. Yeah, sorry, I have to get off this, and it's a great project or it's a great community or something, but I'm sorry, I just have to do it because it wouldn't be nice if I'm present and not efficient enough or not active. So let me just save you the stress. But if also be careful of when you are rejecting opportunities, not to now close the doors, because a time can come when you now need it or you need the person. So whenever you're discussing things like this, also try to keep it open and clear. Okay, this is what is causing me to leave. And then if things open up in the nearest future, maybe one of us reach out to the other person and then it works out, be glad, and stuff like that. Just politely close it while still keeping it open, you get, so that you still have, I mean, you not getting something from someone does not mean the relationship should end. So you don't want to necessarily, you want to do it in a polite way per se. Eye strain and health concerns. Oh my god. I was listening to, I don't remember her name on YouTube also. She was speaking about how her leg was growing big, because she was always sitting down morning till evening on a laptop screen. So at some point she had to just consciously be walking around doing exercise regularly. Like me personally, I have my exercise routine I follow every weekend, and then for some days of the week when I'm able to devote myself to it, I also like go through it and stuff like that. Because imagine sitting down all day and then your leg is not moving. Like, what do you expect? You should expect what's happening to her to happen to, and then the part of you can start getting unnecessarily fat and stuff, unless you know that you have some things you do that makes you burn some fat, and also the part of eye strain where you stare at a screen too much. I don't want it to sound too somehow, if I can use that word there, but if you don't take precaution, you can develop eye issues that's unnecessarily pleasant. Yeah. So my advice is usually there's night light on your laptop. So from time to time, not that you're keeping it on all the time, because at some point you get tired of it. So let's say there are times you just on it, and there are times you turn it off, or maybe you spend long on the system on it and then you off it after a while. Also, you can get like Blu-ray glasses, just to protect your eye. I believe this is actually targeting everyone in tech, generally speaking, whether you are a UI UX designer to web developer and stuff like that, or data engineer or something, and generally just have a way to protect your eye. Because if you notice, a lot of people that are in tech, some use glasses, some theirs is medicated, some it's Blu-ray. Yeah, and the safer side is actually the Blu-ray, because it's not medicated but it's protecting your eye. If you've gotten to the part where you have to use medicated, well, you just have to like live with it, but keep up with it so that it keeps up correcting your eye and you don't necessarily end up with a worse condition, and stuff like that. Yeah. So now the bright side of software engineering. But I feel like I need a kind of drum roll for this part. So the joy of fixing a bug. Jeez. Like, you can imagine how I felt when I finally fixed that error. After like 1 month, imagine something stops you from moving for a long period of time. You know how tiring that to get. We are humans. We can't just like stay in one position like that. It gets frustrating and tiring. So imagine the joy of finally moving forward, as if something has been lifted off you, like the weight has been lifted off your shoulders, and you're happy and you're relieved. And there are times not just me, even my friends back in school, sometimes I can still remember this very clearly. A friend of mine who fixed a bug he has been battling, and then the guy was just jumping around and just enjoy and everything. And then as I watched this movement, I just knew that somebody just fixed the bug and stuff. I was like, yeah, I just fixed the bug. Like, you see. And even me myself, like, there are times I fix a bug and the first thing I do is I leave my laptop alone, wherever it is. Okay, not just wherever it is, a safe place, obviously. And then I go to like maybe another person's room and go and like, I may not necessarily say I fixed the bug, but you see that joy that it has given me and stuff like that. So like, there's the part of fixing the bug giving you so much joy and stuff. Then flexibility of the job. In the beginning stages, or let me just say, there are times when you may not necessarily be working remotely, but you may be working hybrid. Hybrid is like you get to go to work sometimes, depending on whether they call for it, or there are a number of days you must show up, and then remote is just fully remote. You don't have to show up. You're just doing everything online. And then as opposed to the physical one where you have to be present on site, yeah, on site. So for the even when you are on site, you still kind of have a level of flexibility, like you can decide okay you are doing this at a particular time and stuff, especially if you're hybrid or remote. That's when these perks really kick in, where you just get to like organize your time the way you want. I believe you remember the part where I said you have a family function. Like now you can decide that okay, maybe normally you've set for yourself that every afternoon you are working and stuff, but because of the family function, you now postpone, okay, today I'll actually do it in the evening so that I can focus on the family event and stuff like that. Also, the financial benefits, people say tech pros, taxes. Now that they chop all the money, that's like, it's you guys that take all the money. But, you know, when something generates more revenue, you can expect more revenue to go into that thing. I mean, no shades thrown here, but look at female football, for example, and it's great. The female football, they are doing well too, But look at it from this perspective now. More people watch men football than they watch female and women football, right? That means that the men's football generates more revenue than the female or the women football. So now imagine someone comes to maybe the person in charge of the revenue or the president, whoever is in charge, and then it's like, we want you to split this income to the men and women equally. It wouldn't really add up, would it? So, from that perspective, you can see that okay, when people say tech is taking all the money, it's not necessarily maybe because it's taking all the money, but it's actually generating more money, so you can expect more money to go into it, and also the people that running it and stuff like that. So yeah, the financial benefits is very nice, and although there's a lot of growing competition, but at the end of the day, when you know your craft and you build yourself, after a couple of years, you start to get opportunities. Also, some little tips, you can actually contribute beyond just coding. Like you are in a company, you can provide more than just coding. These are one of the things that make you more valuable in the place that you go to. Because now people are saying AI threatening. Let's say, for example, AI is going to take over software engineers. What else can you bring to the table that can help the company to move forward? Like, things like that. Just there has to be some other ways you also contribute. Maybe there's a very nice idea, or you have a way this company can do this thing, You can suggest it, mention it, and also be vocal. Be able to speak up, say your ideas, say your mind, blend with the people around. Be a very nice person to be around at your place, or whether it's remotely or physically being present, maybe during your meetings one way or the other. Just be active, and whenever you are needed, be available as much as you can. Yeah. Also, if you can, mentor some people. There are sometimes that maybe there's a level you get to, and then they give people to mentor, and then, or you can personally like find a way to mentor people and stuff like that. But I know it doesn't really add up, but faith comes by hearing and hearing and hearing by the word of God, if I got that right. So in programming too, experience comes by building and building and building by your system in front of you, and you hitting your keyboard. So what I'm just trying to say in essence is you build more experience and more value, through your contributions and stuff, but also by knowing your craft more. And how you can know your craft more is by putting in more efforts. Like the more projects you build, for example, the better you become at problem solving and figuring things out and stuff like that. So also, let me just add this. So the lessons and takeaways: be open to learning, understand that software development is a process. Bugs are frustrating, but fixing them is rewarding. Some days you won't feel like coding, and that's okay. Know your worth and keep building it. Even if you have to compromise sometimes, you can contribute more than just coding to a company. Your ideas and insights matter. So I'll just end on the note of, let me just give some practical tips to especially those that are new to the field or aspiring, maybe not necessarily software engineering as a whole. Maybe you're aspiring to be a web developer or data science person, or one field or the other out there. So the thing is, in this tech space, like I said, there are a lot of growing competitions, and then also let me take you to the perspective of the hirers or the company itself. Imagine hiring someone that is not open to learning. So say for example the company has to make some major changes caused by circumstances and stuff, and then because you are not open to learn, you are not ready to evolve, people want to keep someone that is not ready to move with the company. Are you getting? Say okay, because this is just like mainly where I am before, so I'm not ready to take on anything else, and then we are being closed mind. It's not really going to help in the long run. And also the part of when you start out in tech, usually you have to be ready to, yeah, some people have some, would I say, luck is more of luck meeting you prepared. Does that really add up? I believe you get the point. I'm just trying to say that it is really luck when it meets you prepared. Yeah, it doesn't just happen to anyone just like that. They must have prepared one way or the other, and then they were lucky and the opportunity met them. But where am I going with all this? I'm just trying to let you know that when you start out, be open to first of all finding experience. Probably it might even involve you working for free, or you doing some voluntary work, so that you can build some level of experience, so that the next time you are presenting yourself to a company for a job or stuff like that, like you have better credibility on ground and they can trust you more, stuff like that. And also it helps you to integrate into the real world, because many times some people know how to use, say for example, some people can know how to put some materials together to form a structure. But usually in the real world, there's a way, not that there's necessarily one strict way, but like there's a sort of system that is being followed, or different people, different systems. Are you getting that people follow? So for someone that has not worked professionally, he may not necessarily be integrated into those systems. And that is why most times companies look for experienced people and not just people that have learned. So that's one reason why you should be willing to learn more and also to work free. So let's say your first few months you're doing an internship, you're learning, and you're not necessarily like getting it for free, like you're actually getting something. Are you getting? It's a win for both you and the company. The company has someone that does the work for them, and you also are gaining experience, so that when you finally leave, you have better relevance and then more opportunity of getting a job, and a paying one at that. So I believe that is all I have for today, and I really, really hope that this episode will help a lot of people, as it is expected. No, it is going to help a lot of people, including the person that is listening to me. So have a productive week ahead.